So, it's Monday morning. It's about 8 o'clock right now. I woke up pretty early this morning, about 5:45 actually, which is not the norm for me at all. The banana buyer is coming today. He should be here any minute actually, so I needed to get the bananas cut down before he came. So my mom came out to help me and we got a nice bunch, couple of nice bunches. So should make probably about $5 worth of bananas. But anyway, so I just figured, you know what? Let's do a YouTube day. A lot of people think that Costa Rica is a land of bountiful fruit. And yeah, there's a lot. But it's not always good. Oftentimes it's not good. This morning I found a rotten tomato in my fridge that we just bought like 2 days ago. It was half rotten. It looked alright when I bought it, but not the best. And this watermelon actually has almost no flavor. Costa Rica is actually, I think, the second biggest user of pesticides and herbicides. There's a lot of false beliefs about the land of Pura Vida. So many chemicals. But whatever. I mean, it just motivates me even more to be growing my own stuff. I've planted watermelons probably, for all the seeds I've spit out on the ground, I've planted them about 100 times. And nothing ever grows. Banana buyer should be here any minute, and I'm gonna finish up my brekkie. So, it is now 9:15. I called my neighbor and, well, because he sells a lot of bananas as well. And I asked him, hey, you know, is everything okay? The buyer didn't come by. And my neighbor was like, no, he's coming on the 8th. Not at 8. He's coming on the 8th. So next week. Yeah. So I'm feeling kind of pretty ticked off because now I have a load of bananas that I cannot sell and are gonna ripen up and I won't be able to sell them, so that's a lot of smoothies. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed. You know, I could have let them on the plant for another week and they probably would have been fine, but now they're cut, they're gonna ripen up unless I can keep them in the dark. Yeah, trying to, I guess within the past week, I guess, just dealing with, like, doing a lot of mental work, dealing with frustration and confusion. And I was talking to my son a bit actually in between, like, about dopamine and how it affects us and when you have positive feelings or negative feelings. And so now I just got to deal with my negative feeling. Just move along. Yeah, I just feel like I'm so frustrated anytime I suffer some kind of loss or whatever. Actually, speaking of loss, these baby chickens, we have 4 chicks, and yesterday morning I woke up and I noticed the mother was hanging out by herself, or, well, she's not in there now, but she was kind of joined back the other chickens and the rooster Elvis, and the babies were gone. I couldn't find them anywhere, and so I was super nervous that they got taken out by something. But it turns out she's just weaning them and kind of leaving them on their own. So super grateful that they're still around. Don't know where they are now. But I guess today, what I've been thinking about doing actually for the past couple of weeks, what I try and keep concentrating on is dealing with your loose ends. A lot of stuff gets started and doesn't get finished, so I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I've got to cut some branches from a tree that's growing in the driveway. It's banging the car every time we drove by, so I'm gonna go do that. My mom's actually over there in the garage sanding a workbench that we made, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure many times when I do a video if you can see the mountain that clearly. There is the volcano. Beautiful view this morning. Louise is gonna help me, I guess. It's not gonna be done professionally, but that's okay. Need that. They are beautiful trees, really nice hardwood. I've been reading up a bit on gardening with a moon cycle. I think today is the last day for what was it? Planting root vegetables, harvesting, fertilizing. Oh, good. Harvesting, fertilizing, and whoa, pruning. So it's a bit better. Just want to get that one off. That'll do. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to drive under there without getting banging the car every time. All right, next project. Yeah, so here she is. My mom was sanding it. Brings out a lot of the detail. But these are chainsaw marks from when they were cutting the table. Pretty smooth now. I carved in my mom's birth year into it because there's not too many 80-year-old women that make their own work table. I was super proud of her. Pretty stable. I mean, it's not perfect. This leg is actually a little bit too short, but good work. Alright, so keeping in line with my project of tying up loose ends and continuing on with things that started a long, long time ago, this is what I'm going to deal with. These potted plants have been here for so long. This here is a white grapefruit, actually, that is probably like 2 years old. Was severely neglected in a little pot, and I planted it in this bigger one a couple weeks ago. I hope it's happy. This here is a cotton tree, which was accidentally sprayed with weed killer, and I saved it. It's starting to come back, but it was neglected too. But what I really want to do is finish planting up these cacao. This here, I believe, is a chocolate tree. I did a video on planting my cacao trees and building some new fencing for them a while ago and never got it published. But this is cacao, this is cacao. This here is a water apple, I think. This here is an avocado. This here is actually 2 separate cacao trees. So I'm going to take these down to the cacao plot and plant them. I'm going to shovel. Hello, baby chicks. Hi. You guys have been kind of weaned. So here we go. Everything is a work in progress. Wow. I have no cows on the property right now. Luna, which is our cow, is down with the neighbor's cows on another property. And this grass is just going wild. I thought I found a great bowl for Luna. And I consulted with Carlos, who is the guy that owns the cows that come here, and he told me that actually the bull that I actually was fond of looked a little bit too big. They can hurt the female cow during mating. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, so I'm super disappointed that he didn't like my choice, which seems to always be the case whenever I want something, or when I usually want a certain cow, he usually says, no, it's not good. So I don't know if it's a macho thing or if he's really being honest with me. Yeah, these guys have been abandoned. I think I planted these probably, I don't know, let's say 5 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. And I really gotta work here, so it's a good thing I'm here. All right, I've been down here for like an hour, maybe, and haven't planted a single one. I'm getting kind of distracted. Anyways, I tried to take an inventory of what I could find. I originally planted 11, and I have located 5. And so I basically weeded around the outside, and then I was pulling out some other plants here and there that are not grass and that are really noxious and annoying. So I was doing that, and now I'm hungry. But I'm gonna plant a couple of these before I quit. It's almost banana time. Just gotta stay effective. It's important to pull out the weeds there. It just wasn't exactly staying on focus, so let's get her done. I actually have been learning a bit about some plants. This one here, really hard to cut with a weed whacker, and I think it's called broom bush, and people can actually use it. They collect a whole bunch and they let it dry and use it as a broom. I gotta pull those out by hand. All right, that was fast, wasn't it? It should be good. I actually feel really bad. These guys are like a year old. I think I read that you can transplant them when they make their star. So a cacao tree will branch out ideally in 5 different directions. And it looks like it used to made a star a long time ago and maybe broke off. And now it's making another one here. Some weird stuff. But anyway, the important part is that I'm getting in the ground now and not tomorrow, right? No, I guess I was an okay gardener back in Canada. I don't have a lot of experience with fruit trees, but you do know that you don't really want there's the seed maybe there. It's been buried this deep under the ground, and I think technically, well, is that a root there? That's a root. I don't know. Is that too deep? Normally, I think you don't want the ball or the root, where the root stops and the tree trunk starts. You don't want that underground because they can often rot. So these ones already are all totally deformed. It's supposed to be straight. So, I don't know. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? I just want a bit of chocolate. What about right here? In between these 2 logs here? Does that look like a good spot? Sure. Righty then. Poor little curly Q. But it's gonna be better from now on in. I hope so. This is just total clay. Can't even break that. I'll plant you now, and then I'll come back sometime real soon, I promise. And give you some compost. I actually got given some black earth the other day, but I think I'll put on some wood ash and maybe some sawdust, maybe?
Would you like that? Something to break up this clay soil. There you go, have a leaf. I don't know, I think it should be a bit deeper. There's a root there. Curly Q. And just add to your character when you're older. There you go. Next. How am I gonna turn off the camera like that? All right, got that one in the ground. And I think it's time for lunch. I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go back up to the house. Whoa. Get something to eat and continue this later. Let's see what we got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take all day.
1 hour later.
It's just so quiet. So quiet. I'm just looking at that tree there. I think I want to swing. All right. To make this hole, I dug out a bunch of other noxious weeds. And this poor guy, once again, this split is not good. And it's got a huge root coming out the bottom, so poor thing. It's got splitting 3 times up here, like none of that's good. I'm gonna have to come back and trim them up. Next victim, poor little guy. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully it's gonna, oh, both sides. I don't know what happened. Well, I'll put some years into you and see if it's actually gonna produce any fruit. Probably. Things are pretty resilient. Just winging it. Winging it. I don't know. It's one more down. Second last one. This one I'm putting right behind this hunk of a mess. Eventually I want to clean this out. Let's just say that. One thing I am intimidated about is all of these vines. This kind of thing here. They're so hard to get rid of. And this tiny, poor little thing. What's that? And this hole was super easy to dig, so nice black dirt. A lot of rotted stuff here, I guess. Well, this plant here is super cool. I don't know what it's called. It's some kind of anise. Anise. It smells like licorice, and you rub it on yourself, and it keeps the mosquitoes away. Actually feels like it kind of soothes your skin too. Smell it. Yeah, so these are cool. I try not to cut them all down because they're so practical. Good stuff. All right. See that guy right there? I forget what they're called, but chicken favorite. Some people breed them. And I'm not gonna put them in my pocket, but if I had a container, I would grab him. Not sure I want to get into worm breeding. Yay. So, I'm not gonna walk around and count them, but I think I probably got close to the original 11 that I originally planted, so hopefully these ones will do okay. Olive has just been seriously digging down there. Must be an animal den or something, because before lunch she just came in the house completely covered in mud. As long as it's not a snake, that'll be fine. So much more work to do. But for now, pretty impressed. I'm happy. This is something that it was way overdue, like I said, and since the new year, it's not a New Year's resolution or anything by any means. I just want to follow through on stuff that I started, so that way I can move on to stuff and new projects and not feel that sense of guilt or like that psychological weight knowing that you haven't done something that you're supposed to do. So yeah, I'm gonna have some water and think about what's next. I think it's about probably in between 2:30 and 3 now. Noise is starting to pick up. The wind has started to pick up. When I'm talking about noise, it's mostly birds. Before it was just so quiet. The clouds are coming in a bit over there. Wait, back in there. It's still pretty quiet. I've just been chilling for probably about half an hour. I actually made a list of projects that got started a long time ago and never got finished or followed through on, or just got pushed aside because I get wrapped up in other things. I don't know what to do. So, you're gonna help me. I got my list here. Either fix the cow fence, work on the bread oven, work on this nursery greenhouse area, collect up trash, repackage the trash, or do more transplants. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Leave your comments down below. I'm not gonna decide right now. I'm gonna wait for a bit and think about it, but I was also thinking a lot about like my mental process of, not even that, to like a lot of the times here I feel overwhelmed and feel like I don't get enough stuff done, and a lot of it is my day-to-day behavior, my bad habits. One of those habits is staying up way too late. I would say the average Costa Rican, which I'm not, but the average Costa Rican goes probably to bed before 10 p.m. Probably closer to 7 or 9 p.m. Once it gets dark, because the sun comes up at about 5:30, and that's when the day starts, and that's when the temperatures are good. And obviously business people or city folk probably have a different rhythm, but if you're farming or you're a campesino, an outdoorsman or a farmer, the day starts pretty early, and then you got to get your stuff done, and then in the afternoon it's so hot, and then at the end of the day, 4 o'clock, the lights are going down, and by 6 o'clock it's dark. So we've got from 6 till 6 to have light. And when I stay up too late and then I wake up late, I've been waking up around 9 or 9:30, and then sometimes I don't get out and start working until almost 11, because I'm the kind of person that likes to have a nice long breakfast. I have some fruit and coffee, and then check the headlines, check some news, and then have an egg and some toast, and then maybe do some stuff in the house, and then get out to get working at, 11 o'clock or something. And then, so lunch would be maybe around 1:30 or 2.
And then 4 o'clock comes around, it's like almost the end of the day, so I'm not getting enough stuff done. So this morning, like I said, I woke up at about 5:45 and I got working right away. And I actually, I had some fruit and a coffee, and then I went out to cut the bananas, and then I went back in the house and had an egg and checked a couple headlines, and then I got back at it. And I've been way more effective today. So now it's like 3 o'clock and I've been chilling and not really sure what to do next. It's kind of like late in the day, you don't really want to start a new project. But later in the day is when I would kind of like pick up trash or do some general weeding around the house. I also need to be focusing on like cleaning up our immediate area, our zone 1 around the house. And I can do that little by little, so. Yeah, you can hear the dogs just barking like mad. Louise, anyway. I don't know what they're picking at. So, fix the cow fence, bread oven, nursery, greenhouse area, garbage, or transplant stuff. What's that you say? What did you vote for? I'm gonna, like, I seriously want to know in the comments. And so, when I upload this, I'm gonna go back and see what you voted for. But I think you're saying bread oven. I think you're gonna vote for the bread oven because it's more interesting and fun. And that's another thing too, like I thought, like, you know, I was trying to build good habits and be more effective, and I thought, like, if I worked hard in the morning on something serious, then in the afternoon or for a short time in the afternoon work on a creative project, which would be the bread oven. It's not something that's gonna pay me back. I like to focus on something that's going to pay me back. You know, fixing the cow fence would be more something like that, because I have better control. And then there's like maintenance stuff. I feel like there's always maintenance to do, like grass cutting, weed whacking, basically cutting undesirable plants out of the cow pasture. Like the maintenance, I could just do maintenance all the time and not move forward to something that's super like being impactful or working towards earning money. One of my goals too was to increase the banana production so I could earn $50 every month on bananas. $50, it's a pretty small amount, but it's just like a starting point for me. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm doing a lot of mental work about how I spend my time, and is it effective, or am I spending my time on something that's going to pay me back? And I get so overwhelmed by everything that sometimes I just kind of sit here and don't do anything at all, because I'm always saying, well, is that the most important thing that I should be doing? Is that the most urgent thing? And I analyze it so much that I don't really get anything done, and that needs to change, right? So I don't think I'm gonna do the bread oven. I think I'm gonna at least go for a walk in the field, analyze the fence situation, like I don't even remember what the situation is, and then walk over to that breadfruit tree over there and see if I can find some breadfruit, because when my son here was here at Christmas time, there was so many, and they were nice, big, and they were just not ripe. And now from here, I can actually see the tree, and it looks like a lot of them are gone. So I don't know if they're falling off the tree prematurely, or if I'm just not seeing them, or what. So I guess that will be kind of my relaxation creative project. I don't know. We'll go for a walk in the field, check out my cow fence, and then go look for some breadfruit. All right, so I'm in the field, got some tools. This is my bucket of fencing stuff, machete, and fruit basket, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to use, but we'll go check it out. I'm already kind of in my mind saying, well, I got to take over the fence post digger and everything, this and that, and I'm not can't carry everything, so. Hey there, puppy. Hey, puppy. Hello, handsome.
go see. A while ago, I kind of made it my thing. I said on every Saturday I was gonna go for a field walk and walk the farm and just check stuff out. Never really did that. Now we're starting to do this thing where every Sunday we'll take a little bit of a road trip. So yesterday was Sunday, we went for a drive. It was kind of cool. So here I am at the broken fence area. So from that post to this post is open. Not sure why I didn't finish it. This post is totally... Yeah, I paid a guy to help me put these posts in. That was a waste. Yeah, it's like an inch into the ground. Super not useful. So I'll have to redig that hole. It would make sense to redig that before I fix the lines. There's 2 lines here. Oh, there's a 3rd one on the ground. So 3 lines stops the cows jumping and the young ones from going underneath. I can see from here to the red flowers down there. The fence line looks good. But this needs some fixing. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. Should I close this up and then redig that hole later? It wouldn't really make sense. I think I'm gonna, whoa! Ah, Jesus, mud. I think I'm gonna walk back and get the fence post digger. If you're gonna do it, I might as well do it right. Yeah. Well, since I'm here, let's go look for some breadfruit. I'll take this. Okay, so breadfruit. This tree here is super cool. I think it's called Palo Ind. Naked tourist tree because the skin peels off like a burnt tourist. And this is actually medicinal as well. You can see that a long time ago they cut away from the bark, which is pretty surprising to me, uneducated, that anyone would cut away so much to expose the inner tree like that. But apparently people were drinking that as a remedy for COVID, to relieve, alleviate symptoms, flu symptoms. So those cuts look way older than 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I forget if you drink the bark or you're drinking the sap that comes from inside the bark. So yeah, pretty cool. So here's some breadfruit, and see how they have big spikes on them? Well, when they get ready to eat, the spikes kind of disappear, but they're not. There's one that's rotten. And apparently, when it's rotten like that, people toast the seeds and eat them. That one's actually sprouted. So I missed out on this baby. Yuck. At least those guys are enjoying it. Lots of rotten ones. I told my son that I wouldn't waste them. But it's timing, boy. It's all timing. It's the edge of my property here. I actually really love this spot. It's just like, I love the tree and the leaves, and it's beautiful, and it makes like a nice shaded secret spot down here. I can see the barn. You can see part of the volcano, and this is a fence line to my neighbor's property who has organic, supposedly, coffee. I'm not sure how they define organic here. We don't have the same standards. But yeah, lots of coffee. Just like a jungle of coffee.
Smells kind of sweet. I think that's the thing, at nighttime we can smell it. In nighttime it smells really, really sweet, like vanilla. Faintly, faint perfume. So, I'm not seeing any ripe breadfruit. Alright. So, I'll probably just best leave that down. Alright. I didn't bring my gloves. Yeah, like I said, I actually hired a guy a few times to come and work here. And we planted some of these. I don't know how many times I heard people say, you should have a man. I hired a freaking man and he didn't do it properly. Maybe I should work from the other side, I don't know. Can you stay there? Don't want barbed wire falling in my eyeball. Okay. Stay. Stay. So this bar actually is kicker, and it was. Those are parakeets. Those are those buggers that wake me up every morning. This bar was actually given to me by the guys who made the carport. It was a super nice gift. Because I told them I wanted to build a bunker. No, I didn't say that. I said I wanted to dig some holes. In my mind, I thought about that this morning actually. All the crazy ideas I've had about doing on this property. I wanted to build a bunker. I wanted to build... Yeah, okay, there's the stump. It's broken off. It's rotted. So, I'll either dig that out or dig a new hole. I think I'm gonna try and dig it out. At one point I thought, I watched this documentary about this guy in Italy, I think it was. Or he was Italian. And he was somewhere in the United States. And somewhere where it was super hot. And he wanted to grow plants, so he built this underground garden. I don't know, maybe I'll try and find the link. It's super interesting. And I was like, yeah, I want to build an underground garden. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's like a foot into the dirt and it rotted off. So for me to do the same thing, it's just probably gonna rot again. Yeah, this is, I think, guava, which is, like I said earlier, super hard wood. But I guess maybe because of so much rain, I don't know, it just rotted again. At least it makes it super easy to dig out of here. Nah, that hole goes really deep. So I had some gravel to put into there. A rock, maybe? Now my fence post is just really low in the ground. I have to change those. And that was easy though. Normally it takes a lot longer. Like I said, it's probably temporary once again. And my motto is kind of like, well, it's kind of like a permaculture motto too, right? Like, get the stuff to work for you instead of working more. It's just like putty. This is like every kid's dream, man. You just get to play in the mud. Sometimes I come in the house and my mom's like, have you been playing in the mud? Yeah, right, I'm just playing. This is not at all up to standard.
but temporary. This is my life now. I was also thinking, my thoughts ramble a lot, actually. I never explained about what I was talking about, building a bunker, but that's okay. Even this morning, my thoughts went back to my house and my life, and like the house, like it was clean and had nice floors and nice walls and nice furniture. I mean, I had okay furniture. I was thinking about like my basement. We had this really old shitty couch, like that the sellers of the house just kind of left there because it was so heavy. It was like a pull-out sofa bed, like from the 60s, like the metal frame and everything. It was just super heavy, and it was in the basement, and they couldn't remove it, obviously, so they just left it there. And we always had it, and my son hated it. But it was like my sofa. And then next to the fireplace, there's the dogs. Watch out for the wire. Watch out for the wire. Where you guys been? Huh? Olive, do you remember our place back in Canada with a fireplace? I had a fireplace and a pool. I think we ended up selling that house because the housing market went crazy after COVID. Such manipulated BS, man. But I mean, we sold it for twice the value of what we paid for it. It was not modern at all. The kitchen was old, and but my heart was there. The first year we moved there, my son, it was his first year of high school. Olive was just a baby. We got her like a couple months before we moved into the house, and I started a food truck business, and I was really hopeful for that, and I worked really hard on it for like 2 years. I worked on my business plan. I got the financing, and my father-in-law helped me get the financing. My stepdad, I guess my mom's husband. He gave me 10 grand to start it, and then I got the rest of the financing from the bank. And I started a vegetarian food truck, and that was cool. And my first 2 years were a struggle, a lot of learning, a lot. And then the third year, COVID happened, and I couldn't do shit, and they wanted me to wear a fucking mask in a hot kitchen. And I was like, screw that. They closed down all the events and stuff, as I'm sure you know. Anyways, so I did bull crap for a couple years. That's when I made my first real garden. You know, when they closed and locked everybody down at first, I just went wild and made a garden in my backyard. We had a nice gazebo, like a porched-in gazebo thing. That was cool. And I think, yeah, I think like how much my life has changed since then. And I'm not unhappy. I'm not unsatisfied. I'm just super nostalgic. So, anyways, let's finish the fence. Oh, damn it. Mosquitoes are coming out. It's that time. It's that time. It's time for a freaking drink. Not even hitting the nail. Like, oh, damn it. You just gotta pull it tight, because if it's not tight, then they just don't respect it.
Come on, just get her done. Oh my Lord. One line. My battery's dying. Whew. Gotta finish this up. Ow. Okay, so this is where they've been cut. And they no longer fit. And I'm pulling as hard as I can and they're not reaching, so I don't know. Same with this one, I tried it. It's not reaching. Like, so close. It's not enough to be able to wrap them together, I don't think. It's already been repaired once right there, so I don't know. I don't like doing shit halfway. I feel like it's like, screw it, just rebuild the whole frickin' fence. This is way too close to the ground, totally useless. No purpose whatsoever to be that close to the ground. This here is super loose. It's just gotta be redone. This, totally wobbly. 0 point to that, so I'm gonna have to come back and redo from this tree here. So 1, 2, 3, to the 4th post over there. And it's gonna have to get redone totally. But I got one done. Mosquitoes are driving me nuts. This is not that kind of licorice anise plant. It smells pretty strong, but it's not the same. Oh my God, and I'm looking at a tree on the ground over there that was supposed to get cut up a while ago. That's lumber. Good lumber sitting there. I don't know. I think I'm done for today. I shouldn't be frustrated at all. I should be thinking about the good stuff that I did. Oh, there it is. You can tell because it has a red vein. I don't even like licorice, but oh, this stuff smells good right now. Woo! I'm gonna go have a shower.